So it looks like it's recording now.
Okay.
You're on the screen. Say wave hi.
Hi, I'm Catherine.
And it's
Hi,
Todd.
everyone.
And Todd. And, you know, I look ginormous in this, so.
Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 2.
Yes, it is. And I am eating Pringles, tortillas. We don't have to ever worry about this going online, so I can do as many ad placements that I want to. Pringles. Tortillas, Southwestern Ranch flavor. If it isn't Pringles, I'm not liking it.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
That's not true, because I don't like Pringles original flavor, but that's a whole nother show. Anyways.
I like the regular and the sour cream.
No one cares what she thinks. Anyways, what we're doing is...
No one cares what Bostonians think. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, alright. Got a lot of toot over here. What? Alright.
Backlash.
Oh no. Again, we don't have to worry about this ever going on anything, so... Yeah, I know, right? Okay. There we go. We're watching the preview of last week's, which was Jon Snow is dead and they're going to attack the remaining survivors of his crew. Roose Bolton and his son are going after Arya. Not Arya, sorry. Yeah, that person. And so we're going after her to find out.
He's my brother.
Really big flashback here.
Old.
Old? Do you think it's because it's old?
I mean, I don't remember that scene, so it must be several seasons ago.
Yeah, that's true. But it's good. The way she says old, she hates old. She was just making fun of me earlier for being old, so that's fine. The ships are on fire, of course.
Hey, how are they going to get back to Westeros?
It had to be a dragon, by the way. Dragon. What's the big black guy's name? I forget. Viserion or whatever? Victorion. Showing her caging up the dragons. That's kind of scary. Oh, here we go. Tree of Life.
Oh, you're talking about Drogon.
Yeah, Drogon.
Really? Dragon that burnt ships?
I think so. Alright, here we go. We're starting up.
Dun, dun, dun. If they ever use the intro, you suck. Because the intro is the best part. I'm just saying.
Oh, people that skip over it? Yeah, they're terrible people.
Some, like me, it must be dance too.
Oh. Oh, you mean dance too? She's cutting out a little bit. You have to forgive her. Forgive my shitting recording skills. I don't know what's going on. Using an iPad. A lot of Apple placement here.
It's okay, I'll record next time, it'll be better.
Oh, yeah? Oh, we'll see about that.
Join PC.
Oh, good thing I missed pretty much all of what she just said, so. This sucks. How come your vocals keep going out?
Maybe turn the TV down a little bit, maybe the volume's too strong.
Okay, I could try that. Is that better? Say something now.
Okay. Test.
Okay. It's working okay. We'll see how it goes.
Don't freeze, apple. Oh my god, that went by so fast.
Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's back.
Mm, it's good. We need it to come back. He does look old, though.
He looks like 17
Mm-hmm.
when he 6 years ago supposed to be 8.
Mm-hmm.
Span of the story been 10 years?
He looks 10 years older, you think? That's getting a
No.
little bit extreme. No. The show hasn't even recorded that long. It's only been like
But
4 or 5 years.
looks it.
I don't agree with that assessment.
We finally see Lyanna Stark.
Yeah, as a young kid.
Looks so confident as he's walking up. He's like, I own this world.
Pretty much. Yeah, he doesn't look that much older, I think. I don't know why you're saying that.
And you don't remember the little boy that Jaime pushed out of the castle?
Yeah, but he was getting older in the show, too.
Well, it has been 6 years.
Yeah. But he got older in the show. They just didn't show him last season, so the difference is extreme to you. But if you really think about it, it's not really that much of a difference.
Men, we notice these things. It's hard. And he speaks. This is a shocking revelation, people. Hodor once spoke.
I don't know if it's a shocking revelation. I mean, Hodor
Well,
was...
let's all recall that Todd read the books and I'm not, so maybe he knew this already.
No, not even that, but I don't know. Like, Hodor was kind of like, you knew there was something going on with that guy.
I think to state for the facts that this is amazing that they've actually done a flashback, because now they have the potential for whole new storylines to occur in the rest of the season through Bran.
True, and I don't know where the direction they're going in with Bran
They'll
is.
Probably, I would hope they would show Lyanna and Rhaegar Targaryen.
Yeah. So now you're seeing Hodor trying to speak properly. But he's not. He can only say one word. So you have to get the inflection from it, which I think is kind of cool. My thought was that the whole teaching Hodor how to fight thing, if Hodor actually does learn how to fight somehow, and like a giant like protector of some sort that is around now that is a monster needs to be fought by a big righteous person from the north versus the south. See where I'm going with that? Fighting the mountain beast.
You think he's competition for the mountain?
No, I'm saying, but if he learned how to fight, he could be.
Oh, I don't know if he's quite as big as the mountain.
True. It would be an underdog thing for sure, so in so many ways, but that's the best, that's what people love the most.
I wouldn't want it to turn into another Oberyn Mountain fight, and then the good guy loses.
No, it would be completely done, but I mean, I'd love when the good guy loses sometimes. So hold on. So now what we're watching is they're trying to talk to her about something. They're trying to convince her what's the importance of her involvement. So it comes up where the, was it one of the children, she is going to talk to her about needing her. Bran needing her. In the books, they don't really go into this too much, but this is a child. They're called the children, and they're the oldest creatures, pretty much, in the world.
The Children of the Forest, is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah. But they're the children. I mean, they're generally speaking, they're pretty much everyone.
She was friends with the boy that died from the zombie attacks, right?
They were cousins, or brother and sister. No, they're brother and sister. They're from
Northlands, I thought.
yeah, they are. But it's I forget the name of the place. Something Mott, something Wood Mott or something. Like it's a swampy area kind of thing. It's where north meets the south. So now we're going to the scene where a little bit further south we got the wall. See, I really feel like they could have used more of the magic part of the wolf. Him being a changeling, or the ability to get into a ghost's head, really should have kind of been a little bit visited a little bit, but I understand the TV series had to differentiate a little bit. So,
Yeah, are you talking about Bran or Jon Snow?
Jon Snow. Now, well, we're on the Jon Snow scene, so I'm just trying to keep up. So, like, what's going on now is that dig. Sorry. So what I'm trying to do is what's going on now is what's his name? Who's the guy? One arm, one hand missing, with the fingers missing. Sorry. He used to be with Stannis. Yeah. What's his name? The sailor guy. That's alive now. Was it? Oh, here comes the wildlings.
Which is amazing. Dude came through.
Yeah, what it was meant to be.
Well, I didn't know what he was going out for. I was like, okay, he's gonna go do something.
What? You didn't know that? They said he said Davos. That's his name. Told him. He was like, you need to go find someone that else owes their life to Jon Snow. You didn't get that?
Nope.
Wow.
I was waiting for Melisandre to come in.
No, that was.
The only traitors here are the ones who shoved their knives into their Lord Commander's heart.
Thousands of years, the Night's Watchers held Castle Black against the wildlings. Until you.
This is pretty cool. The wildlings are essentially becoming the Night's Watch. What happened?
A coup is happening.
Oh, a coup, but more than just a coup. It's existential, where you have a whole just a changing of the guard is happening completely, because now the people that were supposed to be the real enemy to the Night's Watch, which is just the convoluted way of the way they see of themselves now, is finally being changed over to the righteous way, which is what the Night's Watch really was supposed to be protecting the realms against, which is the White Walkers. See, my idea was the better one, which is put Jon Snow in the flames. Melisandre, his spell had to do with Jon Snow going to the flames, the wolf wanting to stay by his side, and in the flames they become one, like what happened back when Daenerys was in the fire with the eggs, and she was born anew. Well, he's got Targaryen blood, so he's blood of the dragon, so he survives the fire and comes alive.
That has not been discussed yet in the show. You can't say that.
And no, it hasn't been even in the books. That was my idea. My idea is that they should have done that.
Okay.
They kind of really missed a huge opportunity to make it really like spiritual and mystical and stuff. I mean, they did okay with the spirituality stuff, but I feel like my idea is so much better.
Kind of give away a book spoiler just now?
No, I said they don't. We're all in uncharted territory right now. The books haven't gotten this far.
No, but your idea had to do with what happened in the book with Jon having Targaryen blood.
Right, yeah, I think that they really should have kind of went in that direction. I feel like it's much better. Now, this shows off the mountain, the new mountain. I guess mountain machine is what you would essentially call him.
Right. That's like a whole nother mountain Oberyn thing. Just
Because he's like a mountain machine, basically. I mean, he's mindless. So he essentially just does whatever it is commanded to, aka programmed. So he's the mountain machine.
Mountain Frankenstein is what he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him mountain machine. I like that better. What?
Mountainstein.
We have to have our argument over this.
Well, see, you're gonna be ashamed, but like when I first saw him, I was like, where did he come from? Who is this person? And I was like, oh, it's the mountain.
I've been ashamed a couple times so far, so this isn't really chalking it up.
And I remember the Maester gave him all these chemicals, and then they never quite said it was the mountain, though. Could be somebody else.
Okay, so now what's going on right now? Because, oh, no, it's the mountain. So, like, what's going on right now is, like, that she essentially could have tried to show off her new guy.
And slaughter them all.
Which he might have been able to do, but he would have taken some beatings that he couldn't have gotten away from, and then they would have known that he is mountain machine.
Too many syllables.
Grr. All right, we'll fight over the phonetics later.
Oh, he had to turn away. They're like, phew, oh God, thank God.
Yeah, that you didn't know it was a mountain, and that you didn't know that they were going to get the wildlings. That's 2 right now so far, so we're just counting up all the ways that I'm amazed.
That's
Things you
3?
did not pick
Okay.
up on.
I'm making this whole thing happen.
Alright, so they got the sister.
She died, sadly. I was hoping she might not be dead.
No, it made a lot of sense that she was dead.
Everybody has to die in Game of Thrones.
No, it made a lot of sense because we're really trying to like knock Cersei down a lot. She had built up her own life. Her father's dead. She's losing kids. She's lost 2 now. 2. She had 3, right? Originally? So. She's a hurting puppy.
Everything she endured, she did it for me. You think I know that?
So we got a torn up, what's this kid's name again? Tommen. So we got he's all torn up. He doesn't know what is going on.
Which is sad. He's the king. He should know what's going on.
Well, they had hinted when the grandfather was still alive, Tywin, they had hinted that he was going to be like kind of an actual potentially really good ruler. So we have to see that kind of character development. I feel like that's what they were hinting at, that kind of character development. But so far, we're still not seeing it, so I'm wondering what they're going to do. Okay, so the High Sparrow's here.
I want to see my wife.
God, wait, oh, Queen Marjorie.
And I'm just like, why is he there? Why does he have to show up?
Well, no, still trying to show. They have to show the showdown. Jaime and the High Sparrow have to come to a head, and this is what they're trying to do, dramatically. They needed these 2 to meet. They had to meet eventually, you know. Tommen is still pissed off about not being able to see Marjorie, but remember from last episode, he had to make her see a real kind of she's having existential issues herself, and now the High Sparrow is like, he's kind of got his hooks into Marjorie right now, so it's going to be interesting to see if she actually kind of becomes a little more pick up a little more moral, because she seemed to be going in that direction anyway. She cares, you know, she wanted to give to the poor and stuff. So now we have to see what the king does, if he feels like the High Sparrow has more of a high ground, but right now he looks like he's going more towards family. See, I like the High Sparrow because he's very he's very modest. He has a lot of humility, but there's also something going on there, like he wants to prove something, and that's dangerous too.
We'll see that in a moment.
No, I mean, he's flexed his muscles enough that, I mean, we kind of already know what he's capable of. But like I said, this meeting had to happen because Jamie is, up to this point, still kind of just messing around physically. He thinks physical strength is really the way to fix things. He's smarter than that, and they kind of hinted at that, but he still hasn't done enough smart things. So right now is a very potentially huge moment where he has a chance to just kill him right now. And the High Sparrow is telling him there's something else going on. Oh, and by the way, I got a bunch of guys that are willing to kill you. And of course, Jamie counters with this. High Sparrow's really, like, not afraid. He's just staring him right in the eyes. Kind of saying the nameless ones. I like that.
What, they're all previous sinners, though, aren't they?
Right. Well, it's all, born again Christian kind of stuff, but like extremism. So basically, like if Jehovah's Witnesses were violent, this is what would happen. So, but now what he just said was important because the High Sparrow is like, we're going to overthrow an empire. He basically tells them what his play is. He's aiming to take things over. What?
He made that smirk at the end, too. He was like, I knew you wouldn't do it.
Right. So he's not afraid of him, which is kind of cool, but also scary because we don't know what's going to happen.
You're not the Sparrow Slayer.
Well, we'll see. Because he had a chance right now, right then and there. So, tender moment between mother and son, but again, at this point Tommen seemed like he was going more towards family, but now he's just showing that he was scared. And he's admitting to his mother that he made mistakes.
He's tired of seeing weak Tommen. Need to see some power.
I don't know. I kind of like it's interesting for character development. It's just you're right. It's starting to get to the point where, and this is what the moment I think that they're trying to do that with. They're trying to say, all right, he's interested in changing. Let's see if he can actually do it. But he's seeking his mom's help, which is important because of how vindictive she is and how her ability to be too ruthless. Because she is. She's one of the extreme ruthless people. She's smart with it. She's smart with the ruthlessness, but it's still ruthlessness. And at the end of the day, the Sparrow is the one that's still got the moral high ground. She has to get through him. We'll see who's...
Instead of Joffrey.
Yeah. We'll have to see who's smarter. Because, Joffrey got his mean streak from her. His penchant for violence was from his father, but his ruthlessness was from his mother.
I wouldn't really say Jaime's violent.
No. Oh, no, I meant his foster father, I guess. Right? Whatever you would call. What's his name? I can't even remember it now. Robert, right? Rob.
No.
Robert.
No.
King Robert.
Oh, Ramsay.
Well, this isn't Ramsay now. We're at Tyrion.
Oh, I couldn't see.
Surely there's some good news lurking somewhere. Pastor and young guy stopped asking us there. Perhaps they can tell us the secret. The masters that we've taken those cities. Outside of Marine.
So we find out that the masters are now, the slave owners are back in control of the other two cities she took over. Which was only going to happen because their strength was in their dragons. And right now the dragons are being obstinate. They don't want to eat. They're kind of pissed that mom's gone, so they need a new.
Makes me wonder how long can they live without eating.
Well, Tyrion's basically saying, you got them trapped. That's your problem.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, like, we can only go so many days without food. How long can a dragon go?
Oh, I don't know. I wonder.
Daenerys' ancestors started chaining
Weeks?
them up in pens.
Maybe not.
A few generations later, lost dragons were no larger than cats. They must be unchained or they'll waste away.
Dragons get smaller because they got smaller because they stopped letting them be free.
Were you in the company of these dragons?
Many times.
And did they ever harm you?
Never.
Dragons are intelligent. More intelligent than men, according to some masters. They have affection for their friends, fury for their enemies. I am their friend. Do they know that? They will. Time to have a supper.
So Tyrion's obviously going to planning to go to feed the dragons or be up close to them, which is really cool. In the books, did I tell you that kid that dies? That they kill the sand snakes, kill him right there at the end. The kid's like, "I'm gonna fight you," and then she's like, "Good choice," and then the other sister comes in from behind and kills him.
Oh, Tristane?
Yeah, Tristane. So in the books, he comes here to woo her. I told you this. He comes here to woo Daenerys, and she's gone. He goes to get the dragons, and they burn him alive.
You totally didn't tell me that. I would remember that.
Well, I didn't want to give that away, but I did mention.
Yeah, you did mention he went after Daenerys, but
Yeah.
not that he saw the dragons.
Yeah, I actually shouldn't have told you that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. When I saw this, I was like, oh, we're finally gonna see the dragons, yeah.
But did you weren't worried that they were gonna kill him?
I know Tyrion's not gonna die. No way.
I don't know.
Giant scar on his face. They're not gonna hurt him more.
That's a huge death for him, which would be really cool. But Tyrion's obviously kind of like one of the heroes of this. So.
And he's doing the stance that they did in Jurassic World with the Velociraptors.
Oh yeah.
I'm friends with your mother.
You have to admire Peter Dinklage's acting here because he's probably looking at figures and not actually dragons.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a child, my uncle asked what gift I wanted for my name day. I begged him for one of you. It wouldn't even have to be a big dragon, I told him. Could be little, like me.
You already know if the dragon let him out of his straight-on eyesight, that they're good.
Why?
Well,
Father told me.
they're taking their eyes off of him.
Centuries
I mean, they have the 360 kind of vision, I think, like birds do. Their eyes aren't front facing; they're side facing. A little bit.
Trying to think of owls.
here you are.
Because they're front-facing.
Yeah, no, they're not more like owls. They're more like iguanas. With their eyes, they can see around. Oh, so he releases them, and that's huge. Because now that they're free, they're basically just like... They just get to do what they want.
Which I'm wondering, how do they get out of there? Like, they can't go through that door. Is there another entryway?
So essentially, I mean, they're dragons, they're huge. They could probably burst through there if they needed to, but... I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But the point is that they're free, so what's going to happen? My best guess was that what they should do is let them loose and be like, alright, you got to go after Drogon. You either have to convince them to stop being so crazy, or you got to take them down. And there's going to be just two of you left. But we're going to see how intelligent they make them. This is awesome right here.
Next time I have an idea like that, punch me in the face.
So he said, punch me in the face if I have an idea like that again. Which, I like this.
I don't agree, because it's a good thing that he did. So if he didn't do it, that wouldn't have happened.
No, my point is I feel like they said that's to make it later on where he has another idea like that. The series is like comic relief. He's going to punch him in the face. That's a really good opportunity there.
She's like, you told me to.
So they're training Arya basically to either be blind. It would seem like, because that's the setup most of these scenes do. This is like, you're blind, now learn how to fight blind. But it's more of just, I think it ends up being more just her wanting to beat on Arya.
Yeah, because she really doesn't get any hits in at all.
Yeah. A girl.
Who are you?
No one.
If the girl says her name, then I will let you sleep under the roof tonight.
A girl has no name.
If the girl says her name, then I will feed her tonight.
A girl has no name.
If the girl says her name, then I will give her eyes back.
A girl has no name.
She really didn't have to think about it that long. She was like, no, I'm not gonna give up.
Well, so that's the interesting thing. You wonder if like he's trying to convince her to say something else, and she doesn't.
The girl is not a beggar anymore.
So she says that, and he believes her, so she's back to being in the fold again. Oh, here's a good part. Okay, here we go.
Half a dozen men.
Roose Bolton and his son,
They obviously had
previously a Snow.
Like a sense to kill them all by yourself.
Now what is his name?
Thank you for your support,
Ramsey.
Preston.
That's right, Ramsay Bolton.
brothers at Castle.
Evil incarnate.
Jon Snow's a bastard, not a Stark.
But a glorious evil, nonetheless.
Father, the hold on the north will never be secure as long as a Stark can walk through that door. Castle Black isn't defended on the southern side. The few men left are barely men at all. Farm boys and thieves. With a small force could storm the castle, kill Jon Snow.
Murder the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
I'm just like, they don't know. They'd be going there for nothing.
Yeah, right. Well,
We don't need it.
right now at the moment, but it doesn't even matter because they think that it's still just like a bunch of, Night's Watch guys. It's like 50 and 100 of them and something like that. They don't know that wildlings are involved now with with giants. So
It's time for new blood in the north.
it's kind of one of those like insular kind of things. Like they don't know what's going on really outside of what's happening. Like they get messages of other things, but they're not worried about anything else. And right now, Roose is saying,
Taking that back.
you're starting to get a little crazy, you're starting to get a little too much. So far, he's supported him, so I think it's just, this feels more just like a dramatic thing. Like, it's like,
He's threatening them a bit.
it's like, so far he's really kind of, let Ramsay be smart and crazy at the same time. And now he's finally saying, no more crazy, kind of just telling him no more crazy. And the embrace where he kills him, it's, Ramsay is like, I'll never stop being crazy.
He's a mad dog, indeed.
Well, and it's symbolic too with his dogs, It's kind of the antithesis, the dark form of the wolf, the dire wolf, that is the Stark, which is a noble and smart creature, and dogs are, manservants, really, essentially. Servants of men.
Bolton's down.
Yeah,
No.
Roose Bolton is done. And it's good, because, I think he really did outlive his usefulness, His connivingness only goes so far, and now what he has wrought is a creature
Mr. Walton.
of his
Send
pure
Ramsay
evil.
to Roose Bolton is dead.
The evil has been even more unleashed now with the Lord Bolton gone. The
Right.
new Lord Bolton era of will be heinous.
Which I really liked a lot.
What, his death?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it when there's a good killing in this show.
Every episode.
They don't always die.
Send for Lady
Is there a death in every single episode?
Probably.
I wonder if that's interesting. Oh, the Maester. Oh, the Maester is ready to turn his rings over to the dark side. Because he is involved in that shit now. Okay, so this is what's going on coming up. Right now he's got, you know, Roose Bolton, well, the widow now of Roose Bolton and his new child. A competitive heir to the throne, quote unquote, of Ramsay Bolton. But
Brother, who is not a bastard.
who's not a bastard anymore, but essentially still debatably a bastard in the kingdom's eyes.
I mean,
Name only can only go
he's
so
not a
far.
bastard.
The name might get some, gain some steam in the north. It might allow him to win the north. Who knows? But all the other kingdoms might still consider him, reject his being anointed as a Bolton. So we'll see. So now, for some reason, like, she decides to go into the dark kennel with a baby, trusting the evil guy.
Here's how evil he is.
I'm sure she's got an inkling at this point. I mean, she's been living amongst these people for a while. But maybe not. Maybe they've kept her kind of away from everything. Opening up the dogs, who are completely loyal, as he has just shown, by saying one word.
There.
Yeah. So basically, she's realizing what's going to happen. He's opening up the doors.
Yeah, but at some point, a mom's gonna be like, would you really kill your brother? Would you really kill this newborn baby?
Oh, he just said, I am Lord Bolton, so it's out. She knows. Looking again at the kid.
Ramsay, please. I'll leave Winterfell. I'll go back to the Riverlands. Please. Ramsay. He's your brother.
I prefer being an only child.
Ooh, I prefer being an only child. And here it happens. Oh, the hounds are released, and here they come. Oh. Ugh.
Who let the hounds out?
Who? Ramsay, Rams. That's pretty cool.
He literally let the dogs out. I had to look this up because when she said, I'm sorry I rejected you the first time, I didn't remember. I don't remember them meeting before.
Mm-hmm. Ironclad memory.
No, that's me. But I remember she meeting Arya and her killing of the Hound.
So your memory's just not so ironclad as you thought it was.
Hey, you read the books. You have the upper hand.
But there's a lot of material in the books. There's a lot of things that happen in those things, but the TV series helps.
Remember what you can.
This TV series helps jog the memories. Alright, so. Podrick and the lady, the Lady Knight. What's that?
Lady Brienne of Tarth.
Brienne of Tarth. They are in camp.
Which Greyjoy's like, we should not be starting a fire because Ramsay's men are still looking for us.
But Greyjoy is starting to say, look, I've done some bad stuff. And how long until I finally get what's coming to me. I really gotta do what I should have done the first time, is go home and be who I really am supposed to be, which is,
I agree, but I still would like to see him go with Sansa to the wall.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool, but I like this new journey because the time he went before to Pike, he was really kind of just like, oh, I'm gonna go and be like a hero, and now he's like so knows he's not a hero that he's actually ready to become one. Which
What is Pike again? Because I see it on the credits.
what happened?
What's Pike?
Pike is where he's from, the Iron Islands.
Yeah, I knew Iron Islands, but it's called
That's
Pike.
Pike is the capital of the Iron Islands. It's the capital city.
Where will you go?
It makes sense, and then they cut over to seeing his sister, who we haven't seen until last time we saw her, was she was trying to rescue him and realized that he was a different person.
Yeah, they had a moment.
I'm born who held it.
They died fighting. Your man.
His dad may never die.
Doesn't he remind you of
And our invasion died with them.
uh,
What was our last stronghold on the mainland?
They may
Bormir's father in Lord of the Rings?
Some more pine cones and rocks.
Yeah, there's a couple good
Comparisons there?
yeah, there's a couple good stuff there. I mean, but you always have the mentor archetypes. You always have the the warped mentor archetype, which is what
I won't apologize for trying to rescue things.
the king here is.
Always in a dark place though. Like the Steward of Gondor. It was going down in the movie, and he was really not possessed, but he was quite.
Mm-hmm.
And so is I don't know his name, but ruler of the Iron Islands, Greyjoy's father.
Yeah, that's him right here.
The other four are dead. When you rule the Iron Islands, you can make
It's been a while. I'm gonna have to keep up on this stuff.
Or I will make another heir who will.
That must be a hardy bridge to be able to deal with all those storms.
Oh yeah.
Keep up. Like,
So this part's really cool.
I've never seen this guy before in the entire series.
Always, brother.
Yeah, he's a new character, kind of like he was supposed to show up at the beginning before, when Greyjoy first comes back to the Iron Islands. He meets his uncle here, who's crazy. He's like he's kind of like a religious zealot, but he's like
He's much younger too.
yeah, it's weird. In the books, there's two brothers. One is a religious zealot, and that's who I think they're doing this guy is. And there's another guy who's like a true like Ironborn sailor, and he's going around. And he's going to see Daenerys too, and he's the one that finds a dragon horn that can supposedly control dragons.
When men see my sails, they pray.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he just didn't back up. Just go back inside.
Yeah, but it's like kind of like a show of power right now.
I want to be like old people don't need to do that.
Yeah, so Euron Greyjoy is the guy who goes to the to see Daenerys. So Balon Greyjoy is the Grey King. Oh, not the Grey King. He's the one that's
The Iron
he's ruling right now.
First
Yeah.
storm and the last.
Well, that didn't take long.
All right, so yeah, so he basically yeah, but there, that's kind of the thing that they kind of do is okay. So Victorian is the one is Victorian Aaron. Um, and then Balon just died, so it's kind of confusing.
They got his body. I was like, wow.
To be, yeah, oh yeah, to become king. Oh yeah, to find it in that. To become king, you're like you have to like go through there's a special thing, the old way, the Ironborn, and they I don't know. There's like a moot or something, like a moot meet or something, like they all get together and they try to figure out a way to kill each other. Basically, like to figure out who the new king is, they fight it out, I think, is the sort of thing.
I'm going to feed them to the sharks while they live. I swear it by the salt throne.
The salt throne is not yours to swear upon. Not unless the king's will.
Yara is the sister.
My father would have wanted me to rule.
Your father does not get to choose. The law is clear.
Euron is the one that shows up.
That shall be the first woman in history to rule the Ironborn.
Yeah, they're saying
Perhaps not.
in order to find out, we got to find out. It's going to be a battle, to find out who's going to be the new king. Or I think that they might vote. I can't remember now. I think they vote.
I don't think she even knows that he's there yet.
Oh no, she doesn't. And that's kind of like what's going on here. So now they're approaching the old lady who lives in a red dress.
Who lures Hansel and Gretel into her house.
Yeah, but now she's kind of like an old witch who's like, you know what? Hansel and Gretel, they probably weren't that tasty to begin with.
To put her young facade back on, so when people walk in, they're not like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Trying to convince her to do magic with, which...
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I was like, when are they gonna recruit her?
This was the biggest problem I had with this episode. Was him just going to her and being like, use some magic and bring some guy back from the dead. Like, why would he... Why would he even think that was an option? You know what I mean?
Because he saw the shadow creature kill Renly.
That's how he explains it, but that doesn't mean you just make a jump from... I've seen you do some crazy shit to bringing back some guy from the dead.
Well, it could be because they know the White Walkers can bring people back from the dead.
Yeah, it's a loose connection, and I did think of that too, but I'm wondering if they just kind of used a little liberty and was just like, let's make this happen. That's why my solution felt a lot better and a lot more natural. That's an unexpected side effect. But they're going down this character arc where she doesn't know who she is anymore, and we're wondering if she's going to take on a new morality.
Yeah, but also your way, if they had brought him back from a fire, it would be too similar to how Daenerys' rebirth was, so...
Yeah, no, I know. And, there is that, too. I guess they don't want to repeat themselves. But I think it actually more has to do with storytelling. It has to do with, her as a red woman going through this new character development, which we're going to see might turn out to be.
Yeah, she seems so like she's lost all of her confidence.
Her ambition was behind something that was more religious, and Davos is saying, hey, you know what, all that stuff, it seems kind of dumb that you're just trying to stick to this kind of religious thing when you're just some person that's just powerful. He's like, you got skills, baby. But she's doing what we all wanted to see, which was Jon Snow come back to life, so.
I know, but now I have to wonder, did she ever try to seduce Davos like she did with everyone, including Jon Snow?
No, she only goes after people that have power.
Okay.
We have to see what her relationship with Jon Snow is going to end up being. Because obviously, if she's changed her, I don't want to be what is it?
I don't want to be a
Seductress?
seductress anymore.
Seductress. There you go.
Seductress.
So now we're seeing this new side. We're going to see what happens. She's doing a bunch of crazy stuff, cutting hair.
When she was in the room with Davos, she was like, it's been done before, but I don't know how. And now, all of a sudden, she knows the spell.
Well, I'm sure she's just using from memory what she remembers they did. You know?
I would think you'd have to have it exactly right, or else shit will hit the fan.
Well, apparently her memory's pretty good.
Her spell must make her brain young as well.
No, it could be just that she does have a talent for stuff like that. Alright, PS4 will enter rest mode. In 10 minutes we have plenty of time.
I can't believe it's almost over already.
I know, it's an awesome episode.
So much happens. How many people died this episode? I think like 4, 5 people.
200. No, there's a bunch.
That message, can it go off the screen?
I guess so, I don't know. There it goes.
The whole time I'm just waiting for John's scars to just like start retracting.
Yeah, I don't know. They chose their own path with it. They just kept it like this. But they're supposed to walk out of the room thinking that nothing happened.
I know, I was just thinking the whole time, I was like, don't leave. Something's gonna happen as soon as you leave. Don't ever abandon magic. It could happen at any moment. What is the wildling captain's name?
Ah, jeez.
Let's call him Jeez, short for Jesus.
Jeez, you think he looks like Jesus?
I mean, he's got a beard. Why not? It's a ginger beard, but...
We'll call him the soulless leader.
No, he's a compassionate guy. I like him.
No, I meant he's a ginger. Tormund Giantsbane.
Tormund. I don't ever remember them calling him by his name.
I think so. Yeah, he's Tormund. And Giantsbane comes from the books. Because he's supposedly tells stories and stuff. He's more of a robust character in the books. He's more like a jolly kind of fighter kind of dude. Where in this, he's just a very serious, like, badass kind of fighter guy.
He is badass. A ginger badass.
A soulless badass. Ah, my plan that I came up with somehow didn't work. Back to the old drawing board. Hey, do we have a maester anymore? No, he died. He was an old Targaryen. Crap. Those Targaryens, whew. See, they did this, though, with Ghost, which is kind of cool.
Dogs now.
Yay! All the women in the world can rejoice again. Jon Snow is alive.
It's like, what? Although we kind of all knew that it was coming.
Yeah.
Here's it.
So that's some good stuff.
Did your version that you watched on HBO have a trailer for the next episode?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see it last week either, so this was all new to me.
Oh, seeing a trailer?
Well, I didn't see the trailer, so, like, when they showed the dragons and everything this episode, I was like, woo!
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. No, I knew they were coming back a little bit.
I didn't know, so I was like, finally.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's definitely a long time coming. All right, so what else is there to talk about? Well, we can go off of the main points of in here.
Okay, the things that stand out to me from this episode definitely are Bruce Bolton dying and Ramsay taking over and what will happen next with him.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I assume he would want to go through with his plan that he was talking about with his father and attack the wall.
Oh,
and
well,
they're surprised they will come across many wildlings and giants.
so hold on a second. So it says, Game of Thrones just violated the last sacred rule of television. This story contains plot details. If he requires the reputation as a mad dog, he betrays a mad dog. Roose Bolton told his sadistic son Ramsay, moments before Ramsay offed his father. Ramsay wanted to cast no. Roose had just fathered another child. Murder the infant, of course.
Oh boy.
What do psychopaths do when threatened by an infant? Murder the infant, of course. There's Waldo. One of the unwritten cardinal rules of television is that infants don't die.
I know that he could raise him to be his own, like his own evil henchman. But then the child will eventually realize what he is heir to and turn his back.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, I think that's really interesting. The big Jon Snow revealed. 10 predictions.
Dragons being unchained.
Yeah. Let's
And
see.
Arya not being homeless anymore, but we still don't know what's going to happen with her at all.
Alright.
You know, I'm thinking like Sansa will reunite with Jon Snow and everyone, and then when Ramsay gets there, it'll be like a battle for the North and for Winterfell, and then probably the White Walkers will show up, and it will just be an epic, all-out, everybody in the North fighting.
Yeah, so the big thing with Jon Snow is back. What that means for the whole thing. Obviously, that's one of the bigger ones. 1-1 wins. That's another big, kind of reveal is that 1-1 is not just, a stupid giant. He's someone that you should really start fearing because he can make a big difference in this, in those northern battles. So, not something to spit at
There's more
there.
than one giant, though. When they had
There's-
the battle last season, wasn't there more than one?
There's supposed to be. They
Paladin?
killed one because they only showed 2. Supposedly there are more out there, but he could be the last giant, which would kind of suck, But Bran Stark returns. It's another big one. You get to see all this stuff that happens in the past, or at least get a glimpse of what it looked like to be a young Ned and a young, what's his brother's name, and a young Lyanna, and you get to see that. So you get to meet Lyanna, which is pretty huge. Robert's Rebellion and the end of the Targaryen regime. To see more of Lyanna, a deeper insight in the story, it's nice to see that. Hodor, of course, is great. It turns out Hodor was not always Hodor. We get to see a little bit more of that. Of course, if you read the books, you do know that Willis was his name, but you didn't know much about it before that, so they're showing kind of a bunch of stuff in this. Farewell Roose, obviously Roose gets killed by Ramsay, which is a huge thing, and we get to see what that means for the story because this dog doesn't have really kind of any kind of a leash anymore.
He killed an infant. He's done everything.
He killed it. Very true. He's done it all. But the point being is that, his really the only thing holding him back from any kind of doing whatever he wanted was his father. And now his father is gone, so there's really no more reason for him to fear anything that happens. The dogs of hell.
You have to think that other armies, if they see how ruthless he is, that they would band together and be like, we cannot let this guy rule us.
Well, we're going to see what happens with the Karstarks, because they're the ones that are saying that, we're going to unite against the Starks because they were the ones that killed, our the head of our family. So we're going to see what happens if Ramsay can keep them under his banner. He is going to be a formidable opponent, and we'll see how crazy and smart get together and what happens when they have enough.
It kind of makes me wonder if Ramsay will be able to collect the Night's Watch that had to run away from the wildlings under his banner.
It's going to be interesting to see what he has in store, because if he ends up finding a way to reach the guys imprisoned in Castle Black, it might mean a huge advantage for him as well there. So we're going to see how smart Ramsay is. We're just going to have to find out and see.
Prisoners there, because everybody who there is supposed to work.
Well, I mean, you have to remember now the Night's Watch is being decimated left and right at this point, so really the numbers aren't on their side anymore. They really kind of hinted at saying there was 50 to 100 of them left. I mean, there's going to be less than that now. They're really just kind of a bunch of dudes at this point. They're just kind of a gang of guys. It's not even really anything important. So anyways, next thing that's important, the Dogs of Hell. Did you just say something?
I said Greyjoy.
Greyjoy. Well, not yet. The Dogs of Hell. That's huge. We get to see him killing the infant, which is a big deal. It's obviously nothing to be sneezed at. I didn't cry, so I don't think I'm evil because of that, but...
No. Too fast. You have to have more lead-in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, too. So, here, if you don't feel like watching the screen anymore, we're going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. He killed... well, he didn't kill Miranda, but he fed Miranda to the dogs. Who said she saw the hounds tear the bones apart, tear the flesh off people, and it's not a great way to go.
Yeah, I don't know. So you get to meet Euron, which is the Balon Greyjoy's brother. Okay, for whose name was for those wondering about the killer's identity, his name is Euron Crowseye, Pylu aspect, and as he mentions, he's a black sheep in the House Greyjoy, best known for pillaging on the open seas. In the books, it's strongly implied that Euron kills Balon, but as far as most Iron Islanders know, it's a fluke accident. Turns out the only fluke in the equation are that the fish Balon's swimming with are at the end of the episode. The only fluke. Oh god, okay, I get it. Ha ha ha. Okay, so the Kingsmoot begins. So we're gonna get to see the Kingsmoot, which is what was that the name I was looking for. Swears on the sea stone because Yara is about to try to avenge, but to become ruler of the islands, she has to win what her uncle refers to as a Kingsmoot, an ancient tradition where the people of Pike anoint their new leader. The Kingsmoot takes up a significant chunk of A Feast of Crows, the fourth book, and looks slated for a prominent role in the show as well. So it's interesting to see the Kingsmoot and see who they choose. And then Tyrion tames the dragon, which is another huge part in all of that. So,
you can say he tamed it.
So what are your highlights? What are your favorites?
Ramsay and the Hounds killing the infant and Lady Bolton. Tyrion and the dragons. And Snow coming back to life. So it's like dragons, hounds, and snow. Those are my three highlights. We didn't see Daenerys this episode, so I'm assuming maybe her going to the Widow's Village isn't a big deal, but I do remember seeing in the Season 6 epic fan-made trailer that I think it's Drogon flies overhead as they're walking into the city, so I'm pretty sure he's going to rescue her.
See, I'm trying to think. They're saying dragons are smart. Where I'm wondering where Drogon's going with this, because he obviously does have an affinity still for his mother, but he's kind of like the, not the wayward child. What am I thinking? The obstinate, the insolent child, maybe a little bit. Like, I love you, mother, but I'm just a rebellious child. Like, basically, like, I love you, mom, but guess what?
He's an adolescent boy that wants to go do his own thing.
Yeah, and that's why I think that we're showing like this. These dragons do have personalities, and they are gonna, not necessarily just do what they're told. They're gonna want to do what they want to do.
Do you remember the names of the other two dragons?
So the dragons are.
I looked them up earlier.
It was Drogon. No, I don't. I don't remember.
Rhaegon,
Mm-hmm.
Syrion.
Rhaegon and Viserion.
Yeah, so she named him after her brother and father.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right.
Can you turn the phone a little bit? Because all I'm looking at is nothing.
Oh, really? What do you want to look at? This?
Your face.
You want to see my face now?
To see you talking. I still can't see you.
Oh, like that?
Oh, look, it's your beard. Yeah.
Why does it keep doing that? Cancel. What is it doing?
Probably because you touch it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's doing something weird. Like, sorry, I know, I gotta change it around, but every time I touch it, it's making some weird kind of thing happening. Hold on.
Todd's famous words of tonight. Hold on.
Alright, let's see if it works this time. How's that?
Hey, it's a man.
'Cause now you're a man. Man, now you're a man.
The lighting, all of your hair looks ginger.
Oh, really?
You're
Nice.
soulless. I knew it.
Hey, when you got it, you got it. Alright.
How was watching Game of Thrones twice in a row?
It was good. I needed to do it. I needed to get this story to kind of seep into it.
That's right. Because in the middle of the show, you were like, you gotta keep up. And I'm like, dude, I keep up.
Alright, so just got the video game going right now.